And Briar Fisher. Sorry about the audio there, folks. And Jude Lapp. Will go to the line. Once again, our apologies for the audio there. Jude misses the three-point play. And for the TrailBlazers, they're going to need a lot of people to step up to win this one. They are without half their team. Oh, they're going to get Jude Lapp. No Mason Monteforte, no Grant Stoltzfus, and no Sean Stoltzfus. Three of their best players out. TrailBlazers are 1 and 2. Zach Stoltzfus is going to come into the game. Rhett Givler. And also Micah Reed into the game. No relation to Quinn Reed, which I thought. Here's Ollie. Backs in. Nicely done. Ollie Freeman gets his team on the board. Jake Harting. There's Givler. That was for 3. Rhett and my daughter went to the Sixers game last night. They saw the Sixers upset the Cleveland Cavaliers. An incredible game. Cavaliers only had 7 losses all season. The Sixers were without Joel Embiid, but Lakers are not without Briar Fisher. (11-2) Freeman. Well, folks, we just saw the Heat score 51 points. I believe it's the first time anybody broke 50 this season. The Heat have not scored less than 41 points in any game. Think about that one.
Come on, Green coach.
Well, we got our first time out. We'll be back. Let's take a look at Ryder Hertzler. Who knows him? We want to see one of the greatest shots of his career. Yes, folks, Ryder Hertzler of the 2020 Raptors, one of the greatest teams ever at Upward. Mitch Hertzler and the Raptors went on to win the championship that year over Jeffrey Martin's Sixers. My son Jaden was on that team. Tyler Lapp, Ronan Casey were on that team. Carson Weaver, coach's son, Braden Martin. That was a great season, one to remember. Here's Rhett Givler. Got it to Jake. Jake Harting, I'll tell you, he is putting on quite a display this season. Like I've never seen Jake play before. No good. Here's Freeman. And that is not going to count. We have Coach Babb in the house. Coach, can we get you mic'd up, Coach? Sure. Let's get Coach Babb here from the Timberwolves. Here, clip that one on. I'll get you clipped up here. Coach is going to work the camera for us. Here's Harting. There's Reed, Micah Reed, a good look, no good. Gideon under there. There's Jake. Back to Zach Stoltzfus, over to Harting. Coach, tough loss.
Oh, man.
Tough one there.
We just couldn't hit anything.
How good are the Heat?
They're extremely fast and very coordinated. That's where it'll get you.
How about that Nidrel Salvador?
Yeah, he's. Well, I warned him. I watched a couple of the videos you guys made. And I told him, I said, he's fast and he'll come up behind you a lot. And that's probably what, that definitely hurt us.
Coach, we know how competitive Gabe Hoover is. How does he take a game like that?
He's a little frustrated. The only things I was worried about was him. So last game, he got very irritated. He got an attitude.
I remember the technical they called on him last game. Was Gabe able to hold it together after this?
Yeah, he was. He was a lot better this time. I told him, I said, let's keep playing, let's stay in the game, not get it mental. And that was the key there.
Watkins. How about Josh Stefan? How does he handle getting blown out?
So it depends on his performance. If he knows he did not perform well, he takes it pretty hard. If he performs halfway decent, he doesn't have a problem with accepting the fact that they lost. He still doesn't like it, but he's more willing to take it.
Well, you were without Aaron Eberle. I believe he was the only one.
I was out of Franklin too. Franklin was
Franklin
big. Under the basket, that hurt me a lot because they got a lot of rebounds.
He definitely could have used Franklin Stoltzfus. So after 11-6, TrailBlazers losing. So Aaron out, Franklin out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Franklin. I'm hoping he's all right. Eberle, they had to go see a doctor today, so he's pretty sick from what I hear.
We'll put prayers, everyone, out for Aaron Eberle. But how about his brother, Ben?
Man, I tell you what, that is tough under the basket. He eats us alive. And he can hit the shot. He can shoot, too, man.
Huge presence. It really looked like Hoover and Stefan just had no answers underneath.
Well, they stuck all their big guys into the basket, and they pretty much grew roots. We were pretty much done at that point.
Gabe
but
Black
we drew a lot
played
of fouls.
very well. Nidrell, Big Ben. That team is just very well-rounded.
Yeah, it is. It is very well-rounded. There's no questions about that.
And then you leave everybody, you cover everyone, and Carter Pacheco, number 0, was just hitting. He had a career high, 8 or 10 points.
Yeah, they definitely got a well-rounded team. That's going to be the toughest part.
Do you think you could take a team like that in the playoffs if everything went right?
I think they're going to be one of the top teams to beat. Obviously, they're 4-0 now, so they'll probably be the top seed.
Yes, folks, it does look like the Heat are the team to beat, and their coach was out today. There's Ollie Freeman. A shot there. Only a 3-point game here. Well, the TrailBlazers are losing. If you're the Lakers, you don't want to get too complacent. There's Parker Graham. So, Coach, what are you going to practice this week? What day do you guys practice?
Thursdays. We practice Thursdays. So
you got a while before. There's Parker Graham.
I'm going to practice a whole lot more driving. I'm going to have Gabe and Josh be defense and have these other guys drive a little more. I think they need practice against taller guys. We need to practice more on that. And then our defense for man-to-man. We seemed to fall apart when we had man-to-man. I don't know why that was an issue, and it should be pretty basic, and you would think it would be, but it wasn't.
So those are some of the things you're going to work on. There were a lot of players that stepped up today.
Oh, yeah. And they had a couple of my biggest problems were we had a couple of people down here open every time, it seemed like. They had big, fast breaks all the time, and it was a 2 or 3 on 2, or it was pretty bad.
How about the play of Ryan Hoover? What did you think of Ryan?
Ryan's pretty good. Ryan, I'll tell you what, he stepped up when I need him, and I really like that. I like his tenacity. I got 2 players that are a little too aggressive. Jaden Philpo, he's pretty aggressive, and Elijah Galvanado, he's pretty aggressive. So I have to be kind of cautious with them. But I don't play them as often so they don't get into foul trouble. I try to keep them, I keep them pretty even as far as play time so that they don't get into foul trouble. Because they will.
Well, let me ask you this. If you were to play the Heat again, would you have a different coaching strategy? Now that you got a good look at them.
Probably a little bit. I don't think I'd change too much because for the most part.
Would you stay man-to-man for the most part? What do you think you would?
I would stay. I usually start zone anyway just to get a feel for what their offense is going to be like. And, yeah, so I'd probably stay zone unless we can't hold them at zone.
Now, how about offensively? Do you think you would switch anything up?
I think I'd probably take Gabe out a little
for
more,
3.
let Josh work a little bit harder, and then I think I'd rotate those two a little bit more.
You ever think of splitting Hoover and Stefan up?
No, not really.
You want to keep them together?
They work well. I don't know if you ever watched them too. When during the end of the game, they were more joking and more taking it less serious. So I really like having them in the game because I think they keep one another in check.
Oh,
really
they do. So
yeah.
I think they complement each other.
Yeah, I think they keep one another in check because I'll tell you, I really think that if it came down to it, nitty gritty, I think Gabe would lose it, and we'd probably get more than one technical.
So you would say Joshua is the more temperament type of player?
Yeah, he's more solid. He keeps himself in check.
Well, coming up, let's see, if we take a look at your next game, you're going to be playing the 76ers. Did you catch any of Chase Gwaltney's free throws today?
Oh, I know about Chase. Yeah, I've been watching a couple of videos on them.
So at the 8 a.m. game, Chase, no time on the clock, was fouled, down 1. He goes to the line, only one standing there. Game is over. Either he's tying it, winning it, or losing it. But what do you think Chase did?
Sunk both of them, probably.
He sunk both of them.
Yeah.
And the Sixers went on to win. And the poor Bulls, they just looking for their first victory. They thought they had it.
Man.
they went up 1 with no time left.
They do have it rough.
And Gwaltney ended their hopes and dreams of winning that one. An incredible team. You'll be playing them next week.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to stop Chase Gwaltney?
Not at the moment. That
takes some thought.
Yeah, I'll have to work on that one a little bit, but
Carter, Watkins, you know what you're getting. Ceremonious rejection. So what impressed you most about the Heat?
they're an even team. That's impressive. They're just such an even team.
So well balanced. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And Roman there.
Yeah, they're so well balanced. It's going to be. I mean, it's really difficult to counter that.
Big Ben underneath. Gabe Lapp, great player on the outside. Nidrell and Jed. How about Jed Stoltzfus? He is a killer. He is just great all around.
I'll tell you, he just has a well-rounded team. That's probably my biggest problem is I got to equal out my team enough to make it where we can actually contain that.
So if it came down to the championship game, you know how bad Gabe Hoover. Hoover never won a title in the boys 7-9. There's Hochstetler. That's no good. So what about the shooting of Joshua Stefan this season? Have you noticed a tremendous improvement?
So when we started the season, he was overworking himself. His dad even said he was just putting in way too much time working and practicing and trying too hard. He took a day off last week before he started that game, and he was on fire. And then this week, same way. I mean, he's come back to doing what we need him to do.
So I want to talk about last week. You're up 1.
Yeah.
Jake Harting at the line to tie it with 1 second left. He hits the free throw, and they get a lane violation.
Yeah.
How happy were you last?
I was ecstatic. Believe me. I was like, oh, that was a saver right there.
It was a gift. And it wasn't from one of the players underneath. It was someone
from
behind.
From the other team, yeah. From off the court or off the key.
Tough break for the Lakers. They took their first loss. Well, you dropped to 2-2.
Yep.
Chase Gwaltney coming up next week. Boy, I'll tell you, Gabe Hoover, he is so fun to watch.
He is an amazing player. What an athlete. I'll tell you.
I believe he plays football. Is that correct?
Yes, he plays football and he's track too.
Oh, track. Well, that I don't doubt.
He is the fastest player in Garden Spot right now.
Is he really?
Yeah, my son runs track, and there's no questions about it. He is very fast.
So I have Hoover, Mason Monteforte as the top 2 fastest in the league. There's Fisher.
Yep.
I think I may need to add, I don't know, have you saw Clay Gingrich or Jaden Vega run? I know they're on the Sonics.
I don't think I've seen either of those.
I saw them a couple times show spurts, but nothing like Gabriel Hoover. And I'm also, do you remember Drew Plasinski?
I do, yeah.
He was lightning fast.
Yeah, he was pretty quick.
I believe he was in the house here today. I thought I saw Drew. Boy, some speedsters there. So that's it, end of the first half. And the TrailBlazers down 22-12. Stay tuned for the second half.
So, I wanted to bring another word into the conversation that we've been having regarding grace. It's a word that is extremely tied intimately to the word grace, and the word this week is forgiveness. Forgiveness is grace in action, where favor meets the realities of our failings. Forgiveness is the tangible expression of grace. Just as grace is freely given to us by God, forgiveness reflects that unearned mercy to others. When we forgive, we are showing that grace triumphs over judgment and opens the door for healing and restoration. In essence, forgiveness is grace lived out. If forgiveness is grace lived out, the challenge was to say, as I've been saying, where do you see grace in your life? Where do you see forgiveness in your life? Where have you been forgiven much? Where have you forgiven much to others? And the bigger one in all of that for me was, do you need to forgive yourself for some things? Do you need to give yourself some grace in your own life? So this week as you go through and you see grace, I hope that you also see forgiveness and how intimately tied to grace forgiveness is, and where you need to give it, get it, or even give it to yourself. Let me pray. Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for the grace and forgiveness you give to us, and thank you for all the things you're teaching us every day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Folks, if you're not aware, we put out a Wednesday weekly wrap-up. Every Wednesday we go over all the games, we show highlights, all the action around the league, and we also take a look at the games coming up next week and the standings as well. Let's take a peek at last Wednesday's weekly wrap-up. Welcome everybody to the Wednesday weekly wrap-up. I'm your host, Jeff Russell. We'll take a look at the action from last Saturday and the upcoming games for this Saturday, week 4, and we'll also take a look at the standings. Kicking it off at 8 a.m. was Chick Cole's 76ers, and they were hosting Ezra Hoover's Jazz. The Jazz still looking for their first win of the season, coming into this game at 0-2. Sixers were 1-1. Jazz would be without Brody Torrance and Jose Gavilando in this one. And Chick Cole's would have to play without Philip Umbell and Joshua Day. Let's take a look at the highlights and see if the Jazz finally got their first win. There's Chase. Weaver underneath. Good job by Fox. Follow Concepcion Leyva. Oh well, it's Brody Torrance because it's not. DJ Fox stepping up today. Here's Gwaltney right baseline. He buries it. A huge game if they're going to pull this upset. The coach's son, Hoover for 3. That's no good. Stoltzfus picks it up off the glass and nicely done. Reminds me a lot of Jason Williams passes. There's TJ Fox, very nicely done. Hoover underneath, fouled and won. Jackson Hoover. Jazz. And Fonzie's younger brother to inbound, got it to Waltney, kicks it out. Weaver for 3, buries it. Take a 3, crosses over, crosses back. Weaver missed it, got his own rebound. Look at Caden Weaver, nicely done. To the right, hook, no good. Fonzie's brother, the rebound. Good job, Byron. Waltney steps in, he takes control and he puts it in. Ezra Hoover won it. There's Concepcion Leyva looking for his second bucket. And there's Byron in the first half. Chase to Weaver. Weaver underneath, switches to the right. Caden Weaver for time. And they lost. Zimmerman for three. There's their three-point specialist. Fox. That right side. TJ off the glass, no good. All right, we're back. Jeff Russell and Charles Babb on the camera. And we are in the final half of the Boys79 League today. And the TrailBlazers only down 10 despite no Mason Monteforte, no Grant Stoltzfus, and no Sean Stoltzfus. So Coach Babb, let's take a look at the three games. You started off with the Bulls.
Yep.
Gabe Hoover, easy win there, 32-21. Then week 2, Hoover's not there, and you had your only loss at the season to that point.
Yep.
And that came to the TrailBlazers. That's right. Grant Stoltzfus had a tremendous game that day. And the next week after Grant Stoltzfus probably dropped 26 points on you guys, I don't think he scored a basket the next week.
Really?
Which is amazing for the TrailBlazers. Grant's a tremendous player. And then you guys faced the Lakers, and that's where you had that Jake Harting free throw game, 1 second left, and you squeaked that one out. And then you're lost today, of course.
Yep.
So, all in all, you got to think that the Timberwolves are still a very strong team, one of the top teams in the league.
I believe so. I don't see a reason why they couldn't be considered that way. I think today just nothing landed right. Gabe didn't hit any shots the whole first half.
A lot of little misses here and there.
He really struggled on it. Even he made some comments that I don't know what's the problem, and So I told him, I said, you know what, you're going to have games like this. I don't expect you guys to be A1 every game. There's just no way. You don't come in and be hot every single game. It's just that simple. Even professionals have an off game.
So what's it like? Let's take it into the mind of a coach. You're coaching a guy like Gabe Hoover, tremendous athleticism, super fast player, one of the most tenacious players, someone who just absolutely hates losing. How do you coach someone like that? What are some of the things you do?
Well, for starters, I kind of made him like team captain. He feels obligated to coach a little bit too, so it takes a little bit off of me. And it makes him focus.
He tries to
coach the other players. So it keeps focus on him as well. He knows, he pays attention to what the team's doing as each player, and he watches, and he actually coaches a little bit.
Do you think he coaches during the game?
Not
just
much.
More in practice?
Yeah, more at practice.
Okay.
More at practice. Because I think in the game he is focused on one thing and one thing only. And that's getting the ball into the basket.
Boy.
So, yeah.
That he does a lot. How about his free throw shooting? I know he's had his troubles at the line, and he's going to be at the line a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and that's what I work on that?
We do. Actually, that's exactly what we've worked on at practice. Last Thursday was free throw shooting, especially after that Lakers game. I mean, obviously it showed. If Lakers had sunk half their free throw shots, we'd have lost that game.
Yeah, they missed a million.
We would have lost that game. There's almost no questions about it.
Yeah, Patrick Casey always said games are won and lost at the free throw line.
Absolutely. No, and that was proof right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember last week. Now, Jake Harting did hit the one. They finally hit one with 1 second left.
Yep.
And it got negated, unfortunately, for the Lakers. But Lakers still sitting pretty. They're at 2-1. So if they win this one, they go to 3-1. So you guys would be below them in the seeding.
Yep.
And the Lakers are going to have to deal with the Heat next week, so no easy matchup there.
No, that should be a really good game.
Absolutely.
I might have to actually stay and catch that game.
We had your game as the primetime game. Here's Zach Stoltzfus for three. Zach! Making Dante and Mom proud. Who's in the crowd? I see Mom and Dad are here. I haven't seen Connor show up. Do you remember playing against the Stoltzfuses, Dante and Connor?
No, I don't remember that one.
Yep, they were two of the greatest players here at Upward. We got the parents in the crowd. Here, let me get a shot of the parents.
Yep.
So the Stoltzfuses I remember Zach way back in 4th grade. There they are. wonderful people. She told me that the boys would love to go home and just watch their games. Rhett Givler for 3, that's no good. Underneath lap. Coach, did you see the Sixers last night?
I did not.
Beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Not a big NBA fan.
Huge underdogs. The Cavaliers only had 7 losses all season.
Wow.
Sixers without their biggest man, Joel Embiid, and they won that game. My daughter went to that game.
Oh, really?
With number 5 in gray. Thank you to Brett and his family. Here's Freeman. Just off the foot of Reed, and Hochstetler, he can pick that one up. Out of the Stoltzfus. Well, with half the Stoltzfuses out, this team has 4 Stoltzfuses on it.
Wow.
Half of them are gone, so it's a little easier on me. Watkins, no good. Here's Lapp, older brother of Charlotte Lapp. Coach, have you seen Charlotte Lapp play?
Yes, I have.
Tremendous player.
She
She's
is a
coming
very
up
good player.
later today.
Very good player.
She'll be taking on my wife's 5th and 6th girls team, the Lady Lions, and they are a lot like the Heat, undefeated. No game's been close. She beat the Charlotte Lapp team 35-16, and she's going to have a rematch with them today. So, folks, you can catch that game at 12:30. That's the Lady Lions and the Lady Wolves. After that, Lexi Gwaltney. Have you seen Chase's sister play?
I have.
She
Well,
is
actually, I'm
sensational.
coaching her with Anne Marie, so
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
the assistant coach.
Yes, you were the Cardinals. Well, no, she wasn't on your Cardinals. She beat your Cardinals last year,
Oh, yeah, I remember.
but you're the assistant coach on that team.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
You're very familiar with her.
Yeah, she's definitely the point guard and definitely the drive of the team.
So when you guys played the other team, the good team in the league, the Sparks, with Lexi there, you won 16-14.
Yeah.
That's my wife's team. Without Lexi, she was out the next week. You lost 16-4
Yep.
in game 2. So you could see how important Lexi is to the team. And Nicholas Long's important, because he just hit one. And we got a 27-12 game. Well, it's starting to get out of hand here. Freeman's going to scoop one up. Holly Freeman. Let's take a look at that again. Well, it's starting to get out of hand here. Freeman's going to scoop one. So, Coach, some questions for you.
Sure.
This is Spencer's last year.
Wow.
Will this be your last year coaching it upward?
Yeah, Brian probably won't let me.
Brian is not letting him. Brian Conroy said he answered it for me. He said,
Well, I kind of got him suckered into this to begin with. So if he said, I'll tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind coming back. I would not have a problem coming back.
but at this moment in time, where do you think you stand?
I'd come back.
Will you
if they
head
need a
coach?
coach. If they
Brian,
need
what
a
do you
coach, I'd
think?
help.
Will they hear me?
All right, we're going to mic up Brian Conroy, folks.
All right, because this is a story that everybody needs to hear. The only reason why I am here at CFC and doing Upward is because of Charles Babb.
Can you give us the background?
So we moved. Upward. I mean, Nazarene Church has been doing it forever, but I moved here in 2012 into Twin Valley area, and the first year that winter, so 2012. That winter, my son Zach wanted to play basketball, so this was where we came. And he was, I don't know, he must have been in 5th grade, probably.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
you're right.
probably
'cause
5th
Seth
grade,
was,
5th
yeah.
or 6th grade.
No,
No,
he
there
was.
was.
He
There
would have been
were.
6th, and
He was
Seth was
5th.
5th. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're
yeah.
a year apart. So
Yep.
6th grade, and Upward was here. He was running it. He was going to church here at CFC. It was just
I think it was that year.
Was it that
It
year?
was that year. Because I
2012.
suggested to the church. Said, hey, you know what? We got this huge gym. It's a beautiful gym.
Yeah.
And we're not using it for anything but meetings.
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
let's do it. So
Let's
that
get-
year he starts it. We come. I see the church. We start attending the church, and I've never left.
Yeah.
And he was running it. He was the guy in charge because he was coming here. He was the guy, and then he leaves, and I had to pick it up the slack. He was me
yeah.
back in 2012, 2013. those 2 years, and then I think 2014 maybe or 15 is when he was like, I'm not here anymore, and then busy and things like that.
Yeah.
So it is because of him and his family that I am at CFC and doing Upward. So it's all him. So he better stay. That's the reason why. So all that to come to say, he's not leaving. He's going to coach, and he's not going anywhere. Right. Drop the mic.
Folks, Brian Conroy, you heard it, because Charles Babb has some tough decisions to make.
Oh, man.
Spencer's last year, and you've been a huge part of this league, a gigantic part of the league.
Oh, that didn't work.
At the end of the third, Fisher hits the rafters, 29-15. It's been all Lakers.
This Lakers team is the other tough team. I'll tell you what, they're
I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So at the age of 18, this was my life, right? So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't because you have other things. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
One of the bigger problems is we definitely need girls coaches, and that's why Anne-Marie and I stepped up. I was willing to coach as long as she was. So.
Yeah, Anne-Marie's another one. Kane left.
Yeah, Kane's gone.
Kane graduated, and she's still coaching.
Absolutely.
Folks, if you ever want to coach at Upward, just reach out. We will definitely find a team for you, whether it's assistant or head coach. Upward always needs volunteers. That's what makes this league what it is. Have you ever met the founder of Upward, Kaz McCaslin?
I have not.
Darren was telling me a story that he went to one of the conferences for Upward, didn't realize who Kaz was, and was beating him at horseshoes. And he was cheering right in Kaz's face, and somebody told him that's the owner of Upward.
Oh, that would have been priceless.
Yeah. Kaz McCaslin, Greenboro, I believe it's North Carolina where Upward started. And in fact, we have a commercial on that. We'll bring that to you at the next stoppage where you can see the first time that Upward built a huge, gigantic sports complex. Can't remember what, South or North Carolina. We'll find that out right at the next break.
Yeah, I did see the complex. That was pretty nice. I seen that on one of the commercials, I believe.
Yeah, I have a clip of that commercial as soon as we get a next timeout. 5:09 left in this one, folks.
Well,
looks like Lakers.
Believe it or not, we had Upward football here for, I think it was 2 years.
Oh, you did? Upward was it flag football?
Yeah, it was flag football. Okay. But yeah, it was a great league. Ran into problems with somebody with a director and everything. So after I think it was maybe first year, but yeah,
Sean.
It was pretty good.
Flag football here at Upward.
Oh, I loved it. That's my sport.
How did that go over? How many players did you guys have?
We had 4 teams. I think we had 4 flag football teams.
4 flag football teams. How about that, folks? Well, if you're in favor of flag football coming back, folks, reach out to us. Just like the Sean Stoltzfus just reached out. That last shot, that was nice. So the TrailBlazers, again, without Mason Monteforte, without Grant Stoltzfus, and no Sean Stoltzfus in this game. The good thing is that everybody makes the playoff, so.
Absolutely.
This only hurts you in the seeding. Coach, do we know who number 31 is? I don't know who that is for the TrailBlazers. Oh, that's Gavin Gitke. That's who that is. Thought I recognized him. Good to see Gavin. I think Gavin was out last week. So, Coach, what's the story with Aaron Eberle?
He's not feeling well. He's been sick almost all season, fighting with something.
He missed games 1 and 2, came back for game 3.
Yeah. He's
out
gonna
game 4.
Yeah, I talked to his parents. He's supposed to be going to see a doctor today. Hopefully he gets that cured. I'd like to see him come back His brother, man, wow. I would love to have him play against his brother. It might have
Big
been a little more
Ben
helpful.
Eberle, he is sensational.
Yeah, he is.
He is definitely taking his game to the next level.
Yeah, he's, again, another well-rounded player. I mean, he can rebound. He's tall. He's big. He can shoot. And I think that's where it hurts the most is that he can do all that at one time. So,
Do you think Big Ben caught Hoover and Stefan by surprise today, how good he is?
I think it did surprise him a little bit. Yep. I believe
I
you're
didn't
right.
expect Big Ben to take over the way he did.
I kind of saw it when I watched the video, but I didn't expect it that. I mean, he definitely dominated pretty good under that basket. That's what hurt us is he dominated under that basket. Between him and a couple of others, there's 2 other young men that pretty much dominated. I think Harting was one of them. And then the young man that fell out or fouled out, 4-0, I think. No, not 4-0.
Gabe Lapp, did he foul out in that game?
No,
40.
not Gabe. He didn't foul out.
I don't know, somebody did foul out?
Yeah, he fouled out.
So Preston Bajeko was not in that game also. But, I mean, they're just so well. Even guys like Braden Mogul and, Carter Bajeko, they really, complemented the rest of the team just to make it an all-around solid team effort from the Heat. Zach Martin, another role player. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
They have no weaknesses in this team. Nicholas Roberts, another great player. 7th grader, tall. They have their A line, they have their B line, their C line guys were all doing well.
Yeah, it's just, well-rounded team. There's no questions about it. No questions about it.
No weaknesses on the Heat. And Carson Roman
Good shot.
says, I'm going to enjoy a 3. Boy, that Roman is something else. If you watched him at all,
Yeah, he's a pretty impressive outside shooter.
7th
impressive.
grader.
And defense, he has a pretty good defense.
Absolutely. I remember seeing him at evals, and I was very impressed. But Coach, no 7th grader other than Isaiah Lapp has won the regular season MVP. Isaiah came into this league. You got him the following season in his 8th grade year, and then he got hurt, unfortunately, in the playoff, right before the playoffs. Here's Givler for 3. That's no good. Micah Reed dished it. Fisher, here's another great player right here.
Yeah, Fisher's Fisher's one of those ones that really irritates me sometimes. We can't find a defense against him. He is just that good.
Fisher,
Hard to stop.
Player of the game in week 1. Let's see who they played. So week 1 they played the Jazz, but no Trenton Zimmerman, no Eli Ramirez in that game. Fisher, they won that game 46-35. Coach, another fact, there's Freeman again. Another fact for the Heat. They have scored 41 or more points in every game this season. Wow. Every game, and they broke 50 against you guys.
Yeah.
And you had your 2 stars in the game, which really says a lot. With Hoover and Stefan, I would have never thought in a million years they would score over 50.
Yeah, that one.
What do you think you're going to do as far as the defense goes?
I gotta get my my other players to get more involved. I think that's what probably hurt us a lot. And Franklin wasn't there.
Well, no Franklin. Franklin, yeah, he would have battled Big Ben underneath.
He is. I'll tell you what.
That was a big loss, him not showing, yeah.
He's my defensive captain. I usually use him to keep my defense in line.
Franklin's definitely had a great season so far. Do we know where Franklin is today?
I do not.
Okay, so you were unknown to him. You were surprised.
Yep, it caught me off guard. But I tried to get 2 other players to step up. I tried to get Elijah Galvanado and Jaden Philpell to step up. But Jaden's recovering from a broken leg this summer.
Oh, did not know
that. Elijah is just, wow, he is so aggressive. I was afraid he was going to foul out. He was just a little too aggressive for me sometimes.
Gavilando, he was out the last 2 weeks or 1 week?
He was out 1 week.
1 week.
Or 2 weeks, you're right. He was out 2 weeks.
I know him and his brother went on a mission trip, Jose.
That's what it was 2 weeks.
And they came back. Well, the good thing is, like we said, everybody makes the playoffs, so You have a lot of time to work on things and prepare. Championship Saturday's the big day, February 22nd, folks. We'll be over at Guarded Spot High School, and I do not think we're going to go live. At the moment, I have to decide because the cellular signal was so poor last year. It was very difficult for the video feed was terrible. We ended up uploading the backup feed. And yeah, I'll have to decide this week whether or not we're going to go live over there, because when we go over at 12 o'clock right after this game, I will not be live. I will film offline and then upload the games later. The internet signal, they don't allow YouTube Live to go through, unfortunately. 50 seconds left in this one, folks. And then the boys' 5th and 6th league will kick off. And I believe we have 2 undefeated teams at 1 o'clock. There's Jude Lapp.
Yeah.
So 2 undefeated teams. Coach Good is going to be taking on the Golden Gophers, Adam Wentling's Gophers. I believe that's 1 o'clock. And have you seen Tyler Hochstetler play at all? Ali Freeman. So coach, the guy to keep an eye on, Tyler Hochstetler, and we see his father coaching this team right here and his brother Alex out there. Tyler's player of the game every single game.
Really?
Your final, 39-22. And I don't have a player of the game. This was just everybody. We'll have to figure this one out, but congratulations to the Lakers, Ethan Devine. And let's see, Coach, have you been watching? Who do we have a player of the game here? Looked like everybody it was a scoring machine for everyone. So we'll come back on player of the game. But all right, folks, stay tuned for the boys' 5th and 6th. We'll have one solid feed for that. And we'll head over and do the girls' games. Jeff Russell signing off.